Let go and let tonight's gentle tale carry you into rest. Phlox and Magnolia's Starry Adventure. This story is about Phlox, a kind-hearted girl, and her dragon friend Magnolia, who embark on a magical adventure to see the stars up close and make a wish with the help of a star spirit named Stella. Once upon a time, in a lush valley teeming with vibrant flowers and towering trees, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Phlox and her best friend, a dragon called Magnolia. Phlox had hair as golden as the morning sun, and eyes that sparkled like the clearest streams. Magnolia, on the other hand, was as elegant as her floral namesake, with scales that shifted colors with her emotions and wings that shimmered like the night sky. One quiet night, Phlox and Magnolia decided to embark on an extraordinary adventure. They wanted to see the stars up close, to discover the mysteries that twinkled far above them. With a gentle flap of her wings, Magnolia lifted Phlox onto her back, and they soared into the air, ascending higher and higher until the world below became just a tapestry of greens and blues. As they glided through the cool night air, Phlox felt an exhilarating sense of freedom. She looked down to see the valley stretching out in all directions, their home a tiny jewel amidst the vast tapestry. Phlox clutched Magnolia's neck tightly, her excitement bubbling over like a babbling brook. "Look, Magnolia," Phlox exclaimed, pointing towards the horizon. "The stars. They're so close." Magnolia rumbled in agreement, angling her wings to take them higher still. Finally, they reached the stars, finding themselves amidst a breathtaking sea of sparkling lights. The stars were no longer just tiny dots in the sky but magnificent orbs of glowing light, each with its own unique glow. Phlox gazed in awe, her heart swelling with wonder. They hovered there, surrounded by the celestial beauty, when suddenly one of the stars began to shimmer more brightly than the others. It drifted closer, revealing itself to be a small, glowing creature. "Greetings," the creature said in a melodic voice. "I am Stella. Welcome to the realm of stars." Phlox could hardly believe her ears. She had dreamt of meeting the star spirit for as long as she could remember. "Hello, Stella," Phlox said, her voice trembling with excitement. "I'm Phlox and this is my friend Magnolia. He always wanted to see the stars up close." Stella twinkled with delight. "It's a pleasure to meet you both. Allow me to show you something special." Stella led them through the velvety expanse, past clusters of luminescent constellations and shimmering nebulae. They reached a secluded part of the star realm, where a magnificent crystal dangled against the backdrop of the cosmos. "This is the star crystal," Stella explained. "It holds the dreams and wishes of all who gaze up at the night sky. Would you like to make a wish?" Phlox's heart fluttered with anticipation. "What should we wish for, Magnolia?" she asked. The dragon thought for a moment before rumbling softly, "Wish for everlasting friendship and adventure." Phlox nodded, closing her eyes and making the wish. The star crystal glowed brightly, sending ripples of light through the starry expanse. As the light enveloped them, Phlox and Magnolia felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. Before they knew it, the night sky began to change, signaling the approach of dawn. Phlox and Magnolia bid Stella farewell, promising to visit again one day. They descended back to their beloved valley, their hearts full of the magic and wonder of their starry adventure. From that day on, every time Phlox and Magnolia looked up at the night sky, they felt a special connection to the stars and knew that the realm of dreams and wishes was only a flight away. Here's another story to warm your heart. Sakura and Daisy, a promise under the cherry blossom. This story is about a young girl named Sakura and her dog Daisy, and how their unbreakable bond and promises to each other are tested and reaffirmed under a cherry blossom tree. Underneath the sprawling cherry blossom tree in a small village, lived a young girl named Sakura and her loyal dog, Daisy. Sakura was a bright and kind-hearted girl, her eyes always sparkling with curiosity and joy, and Daisy, the golden retriever, with fur as golden as the morning sun, was her faithful companion. They did everything together, whether it was exploring the village, helping neighbors, or spending quiet afternoons reading books by the riverside. Fine spring day as the cherry blossoms were in full bloom, Sakura and Daisy took their usual walk to their favorite spot beneath the cherry blossom tree. The air was filled with the sweet scent of the blossoms, and petals gently floated down like delicate pink snowflakes. As they sat under the tree, Sakura turned to Daisy and whispered, "One day, when I grow up, I'll do something amazing, and you'll always be with me, right, Daisy?" Daisy wagged her tail and barked happily, as if she understood every word. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, then soon enough, years had flown by. Sakura grew older, and with age came responsibilities. She had to leave the village to attend school in the city. The thought of leaving Daisy behind filled her heart with sadness, but she promised Daisy she would return every weekend to be with her. On their last afternoon together before her departure, Sakura hugged Daisy tightly and repeated her promise under the cherry blossom tree. "I'll be back soon, Daisy." "Don't wait," Daisy seemed to understand and nuzzled against her gently. True to her promise, Sakura returned every weekend, bringing stories of her adventures and new friends from the city. Daisy would greet her with the same joyful energy, their bond never weakening despite the time apart. One weekend, however, Sakura wasn't able to return. She had fallen ill and was bedridden. Her parents explained to Daisy that Sakura needed to rest and could not make the journey. Although Daisy was sad, she knew deep in her heart that Sakura would never break her promise unless it was truly impossible. Weeks passed and Sakura finally recovered. The first thing she did was rush back to her village and to the cherry blossom tree, where Daisy was waiting. As she approached, Daisy's tail waved furiously, and Sakura threw herself into Daisy's waiting embrace. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she apologized. "I'm so sorry, Daisy. I missed you so much." Daisy licked her face as if saying she had already forgiven her. From that day forward, Sakura and Daisy were inseparable once more. The cherry blossoms continued to bloom every spring, a reminder of their enduring promise and the unbreakable bond between them. No matter where life took Sakura, she knew that Daisy would always be by her side just as she had promised. The next story is ready to suit your spirit. Flax and Wise Old Owl. This story is about Flax, the kind-hearted boy who learns the importance of sharing from wise old owl, leading to greater joy and harmony in his life. Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by blooming fields, lived a young boy named Flax. Flax was a kind-hearted boy, known for his bright smile and the sparkle in his eyes. He lived with his parents who were farmers, cultivating flax plants that waved softly in the wind, resembling a sea of blue flowers. Flax often helped his parents in the fields, but his favorite moments were when wandered into the nearby forest. One evening, while the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, Flax took a stroll into the forest. As he ventured deeper, he came across a majestic old oak tree. Perched high up on one of its stout branches was a wise old owl named Wise Old Owl. Wise Old Owl was known throughout the forest for his wisdom and stories. "Good evening, Wise Old Owl," Flax called out, his voice echoing softly through the trees. The owl opened his large, golden eyes and studied the boy. "Good evening, young Flax. What brings you here at this hour?" "I've come to hear one of your stories, wise old owl. They say your stories hold great wisdom," Flax responded eagerly. Wise old owl nodded, his feathers ruffling gently in the breeze. "Very well, young one. Let me tell you a story about the importance of sharing. Years ago, in a land not far from here, there was a magnificent garden that housed every type of flower imaginable. Every day, the flowers basked in the sun's warmth, and each night they were soothed by the moon's gentle light. Among them were roses, tulips, daisies, and sunflowers, and they lived in harmony, sharing the sunlight and water that the gardener provided. One day, a new flower, marigold, was planted in the garden. Marigold was beautiful, but a little more demanding than the others. She desired more sunlight and more water than her fair share. Because of this, some of the other flowers began to wilt. The roses and tulips complained, but Marigold did not listen. One night, Whimsical, a young owl at the time, flew by and noticed the discord among the flowers. He perched nearby and shared his wisdom. "Dear Marigold, the garden thrives on harmony and unity. Each flower here shares the resources, ensuring that all can bloom beautifully. If you take more than your share, others will suffer, and soon this lovely garden will become a place of sorrow." Marigold reflected on wise old Owl's words. He realized that beauty wasn't just in having the most, but in helping others to flourish as well. From that day on, she embraced the spirit of sharing, and the garden thrived once more. As wise old owl finished his story, Flax's eyes glimmered with understanding. "I see, wise olds. Sharing brings joy and helps everyone to flourish, just like in the garden." Wise old owl hooted softly with approval. "Indeed, young Flax. Remember this lesson, and you will always find happiness in helping others." With a grateful smile, Flax thanked wise old owl and made his way back home, the warm glow of the sunset guiding him. From that day on, Flax made it a point to share more with his friends and family, spreading joy and harmony wherever he went. And so, the lesson of wise old owl stayed with him, a gentle reminder of the beauty in sharing. Let's continue softly with another tale. In Forest Adventure Poi, a forest adventure. This story is about Salvia, a young girl, and Poppy, a firefly, who go on a magical forest adventure and become inseparable friends. In a lush, green forest, where the trees swayed gracefully with the gentle whispers of the wind, there lived a young girl named Salvia. Salvia had golden hair that danced like the summer sun and eyes that sparkled like the clearest water in the stream. She spent her days exploring the woodland realm, learning its secrets and befriending the creatures that called it home. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a twilight blue, Salvia decided to visit her favorite spot, by an ancient oak tree. The air was full and filled with the earthy scent of moss and leaves. As Salvia approached the oak tree, she noticed a flickering light drifting through the branches. She stepped closer, curiosity guiding her movements, and discovered a delicate firefly that glowed like a tiny star. "Oh there," Salvia whispered, her voice gentle and kind. The firefly buzzed happily in response, illuminating the space around it with a warm, golden glow. "My name is Puffy," said the firefly, her voice soft and melodic. "I've been watching you, Salvia. You seem to understand the forest better than anyone else." Salvia smiled, feeling a bond formed between her and the tiny creature. "Nice to meet you, Puffy. The forest is my favorite place in the world. It's full of mysteries and magic. Poppy twinkled with excitement. "You like to see something truly magical?" she asked. Wolfia's eyes widened in wonder. "Yes, I would love that." With a cheerful hum, Poppy led Salvia deeper into the forest. They passed through groves of towering trees, their leaves whispering secrets of time long past. They crossed bubbling brooks that sang songs of joy and life. Everywhere they went, the forest seemed alive with magic and wonder. After what felt like hours of wandering through the enchanting forest, they arrived at a clearing bathed in the silver light of the moon. In the center of the clearing stood a circle of mushrooms glowing softly in the night. "This is the fairy ring," Puffy explained. "It only appears under the light of the full moon. If you stand in the middle and make a wish with all your heart, the fairies might grant it." Salvia's heart fluttered with excitement and hope. She stepped into the center of the ring and closed her eyes. She thought about all the beauty and magic she had witnessed that night and whispered her wish. As she opened her eyes, the clearing began to shimmer with 1,000 tiny lights. The fireflies danced around her, creating a mesmerizing display of light and color. Salvia felt an overwhelming sense of peace and joy wash over her. Puffy landed gently on her shoulder, glowing brighter than ever. "What did you wish for?" she asked. How Salvia smiled brightly. "I wish for the magic of the forest to always be protected and for its wonders to continue enchanting everyone who visits." Puppy twinkled with delight. "That is a beautiful wish, Salvia. The forest is lucky to have someone like you who loves and understands it so deeply." As the night grew deeper, Salvia and Puppy returned to the ancient oak tree. They sat together, the firefly's light casting a soft glow round them. "Thank you for showing me the fairy ring," Puppy Salvia said, her voice filled with gratitude. "It was the most magical night of my life," Puppy smiled. "So I'm glad I could share it with you, Salvia. Remember, the forest magic will always be here for those who believe in it." With that, Salvia drifted off to sleep, her dreams filled with the wonder and enchantment of the forest. And from that night on, Salvia and Puppy became inseparable friends, sharing countless adventures in their beloved woodland home. Rest well, and may your dreams be gentle and kind.